Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We haven't done a pro tips video in a little while, so you know what? Let's do one right now. Come with me. Okay folks, so let's get started. Now, this is pro tips volume. I don't even know where we left off, to be quite honest with you. Now we know, version 10 has been out for a few months now, a couple months, and there have been different. This is probably like the third or fourth version of version 10, like different iterations of it. So what we're currently on right now is 40.2.1. When I say 40.2.1, I mean 2019.40.2.1. Now there was one before that, 36.4.2. I think some of the changes might have came in on that version, but I'm not 100% sure. So these are fairly new changes. So like I said, I don't know what version exactly, but I think it's safe to say it's version 10. So starting right away, pro tip number 1. Now it involves neutral. Now everyone, I did a video earlier about how to put your car into neutral last year sometime, and people still aren't getting it. But I think what Tesla did is they made it a little bit easier because, okay, so we're in park right now. So let me put the car into gear, and all the seats are going to move and everything like that. And if I take my foot off the brake, everything has to be done with your foot on the brake. But if I take my foot off the brake, obviously hold comes on. But to put it into neutral, before you had to put your foot on the brake like I'm doing right now. And as you can see, when I put my foot on the brake, it comes off the hold and just goes into zero. And then you had to push up on this stalk, the gear stalk right here where I'm tapping at, for probably about 2 seconds, I guess. Like at least 1 second, if not 2 seconds. And just like a half push, and it goes into neutral. But what I found recently, let me just put it back into drive. What I found recently is you just have to tap it like quickly. A half tap and it goes right into neutral. Now if you do a full tap, it'll go straight into reverse. A full tap again brings it down into park. But any half tap up or down, depending on if you're in reverse or drive, will put it right into neutral. Half tap down, puts it into neutral again. And it even works from park. If you're in park, you put your foot on the brake, and you you tap it up, and it goes into neutral right away. Tesla's made this a lot more simpler for everyone, because I think before putting it up and holding it for 2-3 seconds, I guess some people just weren't getting it. So they've made it very, very simple now. You just have to do a quick half tap, and it goes into neutral very easily. That is tip number 1. Okay, folks, tip number 2 involves having the car in autopilot, I guess you can say, or cruise control, and how you can turn this little knob here, this little scroll wheel, to adjust the speed. Well, now in version 10, in the latest update, you can go all the way down to 0. Like my foot's not even on the brake. I'm slowing down with this remotely here with this thing, and when I get to the stop line, I just hit 0 and it'll come right to a stop right there. It took a little longer than I anticipated, but my foot's not on the brake. I'm not rolling back in reverse or anything like that. I'm just stopped, and I'm still in autopilot. Gonna wait for the light to turn green, and then all I'll do is use my fingers here again, once again, for the this little scroll wheel. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called a scroll wheel, and we'll just progress back up to speed, whether it's 60 or 70. And of course, we know here it's a 60 km/h zone, and we can't, on city streets, we can't go more than 10 over the speed limit on most. There's some streets in my neighborhood that I guess Tesla hasn't figured out and allows me to go more than 10 over, but you don't want to speed. You don't want to go more over. Let's be responsible. Now, it's having a trouble seeing the lines in this intersection, so it's going to be interesting to see. Okay, now the light turns. I'm scrolling up. Interesting to see what happens. It picks up. You got to scroll really fast because the guy behind you is probably going to get ticked off. But it accelerates. Now I'm doing getting up to 60. We're at 50. We're going with the speed of traffic. Now, once again, if there was a car in front of me, it would just come to a stop using the radar itself. But if there's no car in front of you, you're coming up to a stop sign or a traffic light that's red, you can just use the scroll wheel to come all the way down to 0. Let's see what happens with this car in front of me here. See, my regen is pretty low. Okay, let's try and see if it works here. Scrolling all the way down. Let's see if we'll be able to stop in time with the regen. Probably not. You know what? It actually did it. I didn't touch the wheel there. I mean the brake there, and it actually stopped. So it stopped pretty suddenly too when as I was scrolling down. So I'm a little curious to know if it picked up the traffic light. I don't know if you can't. No, you can't see the traffic light in the camera view you're looking at now, but it stopped pretty good there. So light goes green. We're gonna go back up. There should be, now we can actually just do this, right? Yep. Oh yeah. We can actually just press, click on the touch the actual speed sign, and it goes up to 70. So when you come to a red light, actually, instead of what I did the first time of scrolling up and scrolling up and scrolling up, you just hit that and it'll go all the way down, all the way up. You only have to scroll down for decreasing your speed. Let's just try it on a stop sign. Okay, you think it'd be easy to find a small side street that has marked lines here with stop signs? It's not that easy in Milton. Okay, so we found one though. Coming up to a stop sign, I'm doing 40. I'm slowing down my speed. I'm gonna slow my speed all the way down so I can stop at the stop mark here, or the line. And there you go. Now I'm stopped completely. And now if I press that little speed sign, we go right back up to regular speed. Now there's no lines here, so it's gonna start freaking out. Oh no, it's actually still doing it. There's no speed lines here, and it's actually doing a really good job. I got my hand on the wheel just in case. It's just assuming the speed lines are there. So we got another stop sign coming up here. Let's see if I can slow down my speed. I'm doing 40 now. I've slowed down to 40. Stop sign's coming up. See, if you have full regen, it'd be a lot easier here. With me not having full regen, I have to slow down considerably. Okay, so now I'm down to 0, and it comes to a stop. Once again, folks, I haven't touched the brake pedal yet. And I press that, and we're right back up to 60, and it's actually going pretty fast this time. It took off like a bullet almost there. Holding onto the wheel. Yeah, see, I had to take over there. Anyways, that's tip number 2. The scroll wheel to stop at stop signs and stoplights. Okay, folks, this is tip number 3, the final tip. Now I have turned the screen back onto daylight mode because I think it's easier to see the icons of the cars that are coming up here. So as you can see, Tesla uses its front main cameras there and all the cameras around to pick up the cars in around us, right? Now, it does a great job of showing what's behind to some extent. Something just went whipping by there. But it doesn't show all the cars. Like, you can't see exactly everything. It does its best, like I said. If you want to see all the cars, tip number 3 is just touch the screen anywhere and it scrolls out. And now look, you can see a car that's behind me there, which is this car right here, which you can't really see if it was just in regular mode. And if you didn't have the backup camera on, you wouldn't know that car is there. But if you just tap it for a quick second, like if you want to make a lane change, see, now it shows up a lot clearer. And of course you can move it around, manipulate it wherever you want. So you can actually see that car there too. But if you just leave it after a little while, it'll zoom back into the regular spot where it's coming right now. Yep, there you go. So that's all you can see. But if you want to see if there's another car behind you without checking your mirrors, you should check your mirrors. That's the safest way to do it. But you just tap this, and I don't know if you can see it, there's a car right behind us there that's just barely, just the nose was showing up there. But when we come to this traffic light, you'll see it more clearly. He or she is staying way behind me there. But you, like I said, if you use your mirrors, you wouldn't need this tip. But if you're on a highway and you want to make a quick lane change and you use your mirrors and you still can't see if a car is there for sure, you just tap that, and what it does is it zooms out and gives you a little more of view, an aerial view of what's around you in your surroundings. I mean, it doesn't do a bad job of doing it the way it is now, but when you click it, it just does a better job. Now, I wish Tesla would actually keep this in there so you can actually, once you press it, it permanently stays like that. But I guess they want you to make sure that this is your center of attention, so it goes back like this for the default view. So that's tip number 3, folks. So that's it, folks. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. Those are your 3 pro tips. Volume, I don't even know what volume we're on anymore. I really don't know. I should be doing these more often to give you more. But you know what? Send me, if you have any pro tips, send it to me either by email. You'll see in my channel about section, or just leave it in the comments below. Don't worry that if you think that I might have used it already or not, because if I have used it, I'll politely tell you I've used it. If it's something I haven't used in a long time and it needs a little refresher, I'll do another video for it, folks. So any of your pro tips that you think that you may have, let me know in the comments below and I'll put it on. Like I said, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, do me a favor, subscribe, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button. What that does, it gives me more motivation to benefit everyone, to do more of these videos and pro tips and stuff. And at the end of the day, like I said, it benefits everyone in the long run. That's all I got for you today, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. See you. Bye-bye. I'm locked out of my own house. So we're coming up to a stop sign here. It's slowing down. Oh, you know what? It's not slowing down or stop sign. It's slowing down because it sees this other car and it's trying to get right behind the car. So that ain't gonna work. You can also use it just to when you're not in autopilot, but just, you know, your speed adjusted cruise control. So you can slow down as we're coming up to this stop sign here. It keeps slowing down. I slowed down a little bit too much. Now I'll slow down even more. Now when I sort of blew the stop sign there,